Hello students, welcome to School Study. In this video, we are going to study chapter 1st of Science Class 8 and the name of the lesson is Crop Production and Management. All living things require food to stay alive. Plants and animals are the two main sources of food. The cultivation of plants in farms is called as farming. The branch of science that deals with growing plants and raising livestock for human benefits is called agriculture. Agriculture is the largest occupation in India. About 70% of India's population is involved in farming. Crop and crop season. So what is crop? The same kind of plants grown and cultivated at one place on a large scale is called crop. For example, all the plants of wheat grown in a field are called wheat crop. Similarly, all the plants of rice grown in a field are called rice crop. Crops can be classified on the basis of season in which they grow. So there are two main cropping seasons in India. First is Rabi crops. Rabi crops are also known as winter crops. These are the crops that are grown at the beginning of the winter season in the month of October or November. The examples of Rabi crops are wheat and mustard. Second is Kharif crop. Kharif crops are those that are sown in monsoon season and are also known as monsoon crops. They are sown in the month of June, July and harvested in September, October. The examples of Kharif crops are rice and maize. Now, what are the basic agriculture practices that a farmer should perform to get a good crop yield? So, some of the basic agriculture practices are preparation of soil, then sowing of seed, adding manure and fertilizer, irrigation, protection of crops from pests and weeds, harvesting, threshing, winnowing and then storage. So these are some of the basic agriculture practices. First is preparation of soil. Soil is prepared before sowing the seeds. The soil is loosened to increase the absorption of water and manures so that the soil can absorb water and manure and then provide it to plant to get a good crop yield. Tilling or loosening the soil is done by plugs which are pulled by a pair of bulls. And with the advancing of technology, now tractors are used instead of bulls. Some advantages of soil preparation are: it keeps the soil fertile, it helps the roots to penetrate easily, it helps in uprooting the weeds, and it helps the water to get easily penetrate in the soil. Let's see what are agriculture implements. The implements used by farmers in farming is called as agriculture implements. Some of the examples of agriculture implements are plug, hoe and cultivator. So let's see what is plug. It is made up of wood and iron. The strong triangular iron strip is called plug share and the long wooden part of the plug is called as plug shaft. Second is hoe. The hoe is a tool used in farming. With its help, the land is dug. It is used for digging pit, making drain, digging soil, etc. It consists of a wide iron buck with a vertical wooden bend. Third is cultivator. A cultivator is a type of farm implement used for secondary tillage. Its teeth pierce the soil as they are dragged through it. It can be driven with the help of tractor. Cultivators stir and crush soil lamps for better plantation. Second is sowing of seeds. Sowing is defined as the process of placing the seed in soil to germinate and grow into plants. Some of the methods of sowing seeds are manual method and mechanical method. In manual method, the seeds are scattered with the help of hand. Some of the seeds that are spread by this method are maize and bajra. In India, most of the farmers practice manual method. Second is mechanical method. In this process, seeds are sown using a seed drill. The drill makes furrows in the soil and the seeds fall into the furrows at proper depth and proper distance. This method is usually used by the farmers who do commercial farming. Next is crop transplantation. In agriculture, transplanting or replanting is the technique of moving a plant from one location to another. The best example of crop transplantation is paddy. First, the paddy crop is sown in a field, and when they germinate, they are transplanted from there to another field, as you can see in this image. Third is manuring. Manuring is the process of adding of natural or chemical source of nutrients for the crop. Natural sources include dead waste of plants, humans and animals, etc. and other waste. These on decomposition give organic product called organic manure or simply manure. So there are three types of manure. First is farmyard manure. Farmyard manure is a fertilizer composed of waste products, typically dung and urine, produced by farm animals, most commonly cows and buffaloes. The waste products contain a wealth of nutrients, including the extremely important element that plants need is nitrogen. So, they are very beneficial for plants. Second is compost. Compost is obtained by decomposition and recycling of organic waste. It is the main component of organic farming. The simplest way to make compost is to wait for some time by making a pile of moist organic matter so that it gets dissolved. In compost, you can use your kitchen waste, your farmyard waste, everything, and after making the compost, if you put that manure in the farm, then it will definitely help you to increase the yield. Third is green manure. In agriculture, green manure is called an auxiliary crop, which is mainly cultivated for the purpose of increasing the nutrient content in the soil and supplying organic substance in it. Often, such a crop is mixed in the soil by running the plow in its green condition. Green fertilizer increases the fertile power of the land and protects the land. Fourth is fertilizer. It is a chemical compound that is manufactured in factories. It provides phosphorus, potassium, etc. to the soil. Urea supplies nitrogen, calcium ammonium nitrate supplies calcium and nitrogen, diammonium phosphate supplies nitrogen and phosphorus to the soil. Fertilizers also have some disadvantages. They reduce soil fertility if used regularly in field. It also causes water and soil pollution. So, what can we use instead of soil fertility? What can we use instead of fertilizer to get a good and organic crop yield? So there are three methods. First is field fallow, leaving the land free for one or more seasons to regain nutrients. Second is crop rotation. Crop rotation is the practice of growing a series of different types of crop in the same area across a sequence of growing seasons. Third is mixed cropping. Mixed cropping is the practice of growing two or more crops together on the same piece of land in one crop season. Fifth is irrigation. Irrigation is the application of controlled amount of water to plants at needed intervals. It is the most important process. Some of the methods of irrigation are: first is traditional method and second is modern method. So first we will see what is traditional method. Irrigation can be done by traditional methods like Dekli, Rad, Moat and chain pump. In these methods, water available in wells and canals are distributed in the fields by cattle or human labor. So, modern method is now used for irrigation of field. These methods of irrigation are most efficient than traditional method. In this method, water is equally distributed to all parts of the field. Some of the modern methods are sprinkler system and drip system. So let's see what is sprinkler system. This is one of the most commonly used methods of irrigation. It involves installing vertical pipes at equal distance with rotating nozzles on the top. Second is drip irrigation. This involves providing water drop by drop near the roots of the plants. This system helps plants to regular water supply and involves no wastage of water. Let's see what are the advantages of irrigation. Irrigation helps seeds to germinate. It is also essential for absorption of nutrients by plants from the soil and for the elongation of roots. Third is water also protect crop from frost and dry hot air currents. Now, what are the disadvantages of excessive irrigation? If we irrigate the field more than it is required, so waterlogging occurs in the field that inhibits germination of seeds. Roots do not hold the crop upright. And the third is plant which cannot resist strong wind fall down. So basically, excessive irrigation makes the crop weak and affect the yield very much. Now, how can we protect our crops? Crop protection is the science and practice of managing plant disease, weeds and other pests. It can be done in 3 ways. So first way is scarecrow. Okay, this is scarecrow. These are the images of human forms placed in fields that can keep birds away from a field. Second is use of pesticide. Pesticides are used to control various pests and disease carriers such as mosquitoes, ticks, rats and mice. Pesticides are used in agriculture to control weeds, insect infestation and diseases. Now, what is weeding? The unwanted plant that grow along with crop plant and cause harm to them are called weeds. The process of removal of such unwanted plants are termed as weeding. Some of the methods of weeding are mechanical method and chemical method. So what is mechanical method? How can we use mechanical method? Weeds are controlled using a rotating hoe to cultivate, uproot and bury emerging young weeds between rows of rice plants or any other plant. Mechanical weeding is a part of integrated weed management that refers to the integrated use of cultural, manual, mechanical or chemical control methods. Second is chemical method. In this process, the weeds are controlled by the chemicals such as 2,4-D and 2,4,5-T. These chemicals are also called as weedicides. Sixth is harvesting. The process of cutting and gathering of ripened crop is called as harvesting. It is one of the most important process. So, next is threshing. Threshing is the process of loosening the edible part of grain from the chaff to which it is attached. It is the step in grain preparation after ripening. The machine used in this process is called as thresher. Seventh is winnowing. Winnowing is a farming method developed by ancient people for separating grain from chaff. It is also used to remove weevils or other pests from stored grains. Air is used to remove weevils from stored grains. Eighth is storage. The most common method of storing food grains on large scale is to store in gunny bags and stitch it tightly, and they will place one over the other in godowns where pesticide solutions will be sprayed on the stacked gunny bags to protect the grain from pests during storage. There are two types of storage. First is dry storage and second is cold storage. So, dry storage is the method used for storing non-perishable food materials like food grains. On small scale or a domestic level, grain is stored in jute bags or metallic bins. Second is cold storage. It is used for storage of perishable food materials. The example of perishable foods are vegetables and fruits. Since these food material have a very short shelf life, they are stored at low temperature. Now, what are the foods that we got from animals? Animals are also an important source of food. For example, cows, buffaloes give us milk. Ducks and hens are a good source of eggs. Honeybees gives us honey. Fish, goat, hen are the source of meat. Now we will learn about animal husbandry. The domestication of animals on a large scale is called animal husbandry. The practice of raising birds like chickens, ducks, and fowls is called as poultry farming. Honeybees are reared for honey. The rearing of honeybees on a large scale is termed as apiculture. Next is the rearing of fish on a large scale is termed as pisciculture. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon.